You are listening to Heroes Never Die, your one-stop spot for all the latest news, Overwatch League results, and mishaps in Overwatch. Here are your hosts, Totemly Drunk and Edinar.
What's up, nerds, and welcome back to Heroes Never Die, your one-stop spot for all things Overwatch. I am your host, Totemly Drunk, and tonight, on episode 202, we're going to be taking a look at the most recent news around the game, as well as its competitive scene, before we talk all things Hero 32, which was revealed earlier today. So before we get into the news and introduce you to my co-host, let me just quickly take a moment to thank everyone who is joining us tonight on Twitch for our live show, and thank all of our repeat listeners out there. So joining me tonight, as always, is my co-host, Edinar. Ed, what a week it has been. There's a lot going on, not just, with everything around us. It's been a busy week for Blizzard. We got a major Hearthstone patch. We got a PTR update today along with a new hero. We got Doom Eternal launching in like a couple of hours. A new Animal Crossing game. A movie theater shutting down. Everything going to lockdown. A lot of stuff, right? Just kind of getting compacted into 1 week. And on top of that, we got Overwatch League back this weekend. So, you fortunately have to take the bad with the good in this case.
Yeah, no, it's been basically pure chaos. I think the majority of people, except you amazing people who kind of work in, grocery stores, hospitals, the Walgreens and CVS's of the world, the majority of people are working from home. I am one of those people, and it has been a big adjustment. I've been watching a lot of, basically, I just have Twitch on all day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that I can just have on in the background. And it's been pretty nice. It's been pretty fun being able to catch up on all of that. Not fun that I have to work from home because of the coronavirus. But as far as gaming goes, like you said, it's kind of crazy. I've never played Doom. Doom doesn't interest me. I'm weird. I know. It's not my type of game. I tried Warzone. I effing hate it. Just so many things wrong with that game right now, and the only reason I feel that you're seeing people still it's still dominating the Twitch chart is because people are still getting paid by Call of Duty to play it.
I mean, I'm still enjoying it, which I was surprised by, but to each their own.
Yeah, it's just I think the Shrouds, the Tim, the Ninjas, the Disrespect, and the of the world, once they stop getting paid, they'll probably move on to other games, just like they do with every other big game that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happens every time. So you have that. You missed Destiny. The Trials of Osiris came out, which was a big thing for Destiny. Hearthstone patch, early Animal Crossing. It's the golden age of being a gamer, really, because everyone's trapped at home. Why not play video games? Like you're basically gonna do crafts, play video games, watch TV,
or sleep.
So play video games. Like today, on my lunch break, I logged onto the PTR and played with the new hero for like 5-10 minutes, and that's not something I can do at my job normally. So yeah, it's definitely been an interesting week, but all things considered, it's been pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. So before we get into the news, just a quick reminder, we do have our community game night happening this Saturday. That would be March 21st, kicking off at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So, of course, we'll be hanging out in our Discord in the game night lobby. So if you're looking to join us, be sure to hop into Discord. We'll get you in there, and just looking forward to some more community Overwatch games. And given everything kind of going on right now, hopefully more people will be able to come out this time. since not a lot of people can be going outside with everything going on right now. Now, outside of that, just as a reminder, we do have our giveaway that is happening from our 200th episode that will basically be running through the month. So that is live on our Twitter page. So be sure you go to our Twitter, retweet, and follow us if you aren't already. It is a pinned tweet for the giveaway. So we are giving away a $50 Battle.net gift card, as well as one of the Overwatch League 2020 authentic home jerseys to whoever the winner may be. So be sure to hop
And it
over
can't
on
be
that.
me. This is horse shit.
Womp womp.
I never win anything. Even ones that I'm hoping run. Can't even win that. What kind of shit is this?
By helping run, he means just having me do everything.
I liked and we retweeted it. So that is my way of helping.
Okay.
But yes, Totem does everything.
But anyways, let's talk some Overwatch. So obviously a lot going on the PTR, you know, there was a little bit of a reveal today, but there's been a little bit of like freak out moments within the last week. So after we recorded, you know, the show last week, you know, we got to see what the new hero pool rotation was going to be for ladder. And a lot of people were not too happy, Ed, and that was primarily because we saw kind of like a change of the way that they did it. So this past week, we saw 1 tank, 1 damage dealer, and 2 supports getting taken out of the rotation. So both Ana and Moira were disabled for competitive play during that week alongside the tank ban, which was Reinhardt, as well as Reaper for the DPS hero. So this was kind of a stray from the norm, and I know it's kind of like early on, but, you know, traditionally the idea was to ban 1 tank, 2 damage, and 1 support. So when you factor in you disabling 2 support characters, that really only left you with 5 available heroes to play for the role for the week. So needless to say, a lot of people were not happy about this. Everyone's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to play this week. But yeah.
Okay. How do I put this? Deal with it. Like, was it really that big? Oh my god, 2 supports weren't available for 2 weeks. The end of the world. Cancel the game. Fire all of Overwatch. The game needs to shut down because 2 supports weren't playable for 2 weeks.
Well,
oh my god.
For 1 week in this case, but you know,
Oh, 1 week.
It's,
so even less.
yes, even less time
even
to freak
less.
out. But you know,
oh my god.
What really gets me, Ed, is the fact that, you know, this week they didn't revert back to the 2 damage ban, right? They went with 2 tanks this time. So gone are Roadhog and Sigma out of the rotation for this week. Yeah.
When they announced it, did they specifically say we will be banning 1 tank, 2 DPS, 1 support?
I think they did in the blog post, but it was never. They always said like things could change kind of like week to week, and they were going to be trying different things. And a lot of people just seem to just fixate on the first part. But anyways, we got 2 tanks out this week. So you got Roadhog, Sigma out until basically like next Thursday. Then the other bans are Doomfist for the damage, as well as Brigitte for the support hero this week.
Yeah. Are you hearing the outcry
Nope.
of 2 tanks because they're not meta heroes? Is it weird how that works? You know, it's, oh my god, I can't believe they banned 2 supports that could be meta. Well, what if they would have banned 2 non-meta supports? Would we have had the same outcry, kind of like we don't have with the tanks?
Probably not.
I believe we called those people hypocrites.
And then, you know, the damage dealers are like, well, there's like 2,800 of us, so.
And was Moira really even a freaking support? Who played
Not
Moira
in
as a
gold.
support? Not from anywhere below like Masters. You were like, do I heal my teammate or do I kill the other? I'll kill
Mhm.
and then let them die and respawn.
There you go.
Like, I don't know. It's people lost their shit for no reason whatsoever, and it was just stupid to me. Like, they banned 2 tanks this week, not a peep, not one thing on my timeline on Twitter about it. So you know what? Get off your high horses, and that's coming from me.
Maybe people are too distracted by the PTR right now, since usually the hero pools roll out around like 11 a.m. Central Time every Thursday.
Yeah, that is obviously it.
I mean, it's part of it. It's not the whole picture, though, for sure on that end. But, you know, we've had some other distractions here as of late, as well as we do have the return of the Archives event for 2020. So the event will be running until April 2nd, and in this event, you'll be able to unlock 8 new skins, 3 of which have been tied to weekly challenges, where, again, like all the other challenges, you have to win a total of 9 matches, whether it's in competitive, arcade, or quick play. I would say experimental, but yeah, don't think that's there right now. But anyways, the event, you got new legendary skins for Zarya. You have another Yun Ana skin for like a sniper Ana. There's Militia Roadhog, Keen Jameson Junkrat, and one of the more casual Pharah skins for Aviator Pharah. And, you know, we got a couple of changes, I guess, if you want to look at it, and that was with the incorporation of challenge missions. So we're gonna get like new challenge missions, missions. I can't talk each week, and it basically like brings like a new twist to what we're already seeing. So you get like this extra effect based on, you know, the enemies or your heroes. So you can see like you having decreased health. There's also like a headshot only one, as well as, you know, enemies that drop lava whenever they die. So think like Molten Core for Torbjorn. So it just leaves, you know, that liquid magma cum essentially on the ground everywhere.
Hot magma.
Yeah. So those basically unlock every week, and then each week there are 2 different, you know, missions going on with this. So there's a total of 6 different ones throughout the event. But no one really cared about that, right? Everyone was kind of fixated on a very specific thing with this event, and that was the new Brigitte emote.
Fat cat.
Yes, the Chonky Cat emote has basically taken the internet by storm, and you know, it's only a matter of time before Brigitte puts those blueprints to work and tries to make it fly.
Yes.
Good luck.
That's an Overwatch 2 leak that we're not talking about, Jetpack Cat. Yeah, no, like, I will say this, and I'm usually not all for the non-Christmas skins. This is hands down the best group of skins that an event has had in 2-3 years for Overwatch. There's not one, I mean, outside of maybe the Torbjorn and the Mei one, which are just kind of basic, every other skin is ridiculously amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Sniper Ana, Militia Roadhog, the Junkrat, the Pharah one, Top Gun Pharah, come on. And then even the Symmetra one was awesome. And then you had the Fat Cat. This was probably the best they've done with the skins in a long time. As far as the new modes, did you try any of them?
The only one I tried was the Magma one.
Did you win?
Once, and it took 3 attempts. So the first game, our healer immediately left. The second game, we only had a Symmetra for our damage. So, like, I went Zenyatta, and then someone else, like, locked Moira, like, right after as, like, the last person, rather than selecting another DPS. So, like, we couldn't really do anything there. And then we went 1 tank, 2 damage, 1 support in the one that we completed the mission.
Yeah, so I played 2. I played one of each.
Mhm.
Couldn't beat it either one. And I don't know many. And I talked to a couple people. I talked to Booger. I talked to Kinder.
Mhm.
I talked to other people who have tried these. No one's beaten that. And I think that's just because lack of communication
Could be.
with pugs. You just you're used to what it's normally is, not like, okay, just kill them all. No. Don't just kill them all in the same spot because they spawn hot piles of magma and kill you.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was definitely interesting. Once that was over with, I'm like, yeah, I'll just go back to normal and do 9 of those and get my Symmetra skin and 3 loot boxes.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, like I have to say, the skins across the board, I was very happy with, and it's been a
Mhm.
while since we've had an event that really kind of spoke to us on this sort of level. And I have to say,
Not Christmas.
I really like the Junkrat one, especially, and you get to see, the Golden Crown. He's covered in all sorts of like dollar signs. And even his rip tire, there was an interesting Easter egg there where you can see the crest of Lordaeron from World of Warcraft on it. I don't know if you caught
Oh,
that.
that I did not know. That's actually pretty cool.
So, we haven't really seen a ton of tie-ins with the other games. There's maybe hints to other things in say Blizzard World, or of course they had the Warcraft tie-in skins. Initially, released at one point with Blizzard World, and you also had the Illidan skin as well for Genji. But I thought that was not something I was expecting to see from this skin. So, getting little nods like that was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I want to go back at some point and just complete all of the missions, because I'm sure there's achievements for each one when you
Mhm.
complete them. So I absolutely want to look into that.
I also am humbly requesting one thing. When you have Aviator Farah, or screw it, it's Top Gun Farah. When you have Top Gun Farah out there, when she hits her ult, she gets a voice line that says, "Welcome to the danger zone." How cool would that be? Hit your ult, "Welcome to the danger zone." Highway to no.
Mhm.
Can I not sing?
No, I mean you can.
Danger zone.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you, Ed.
Yeah, you're not good at stuff. I do what I want. I roll with 10 gangs. I only commit hate crimes. I call baby seals for fun.
Whatever, I'll do what I
Whatever,
want.
I do what I want.
I am currently rewatching South Park, and I cannot wait to get to that episode.
Everyone I've talked to has that show that they're rewatching.
Mhm.
I'm currently rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Now, to be fair, Ed, I was doing this before all the crap happened. I've just been taking it a couple episodes at a time. It's not me oh crap, I got all this time on my hands now. What should I watch now?
Yeah, I actually think one really cool thing off Overwatch topic, real quick, something that me and you might start doing because I might force you to do it, is that Netflix party.
I haven't tried it.
So what Netflix party is somebody who has Netflix, like me, for instance. I can start watching stuff
99% of the population.
Well, no, I have it, but I actually pay for it. So that drops it down to 30%. But then you can invite people to watch it with you and kind of have a group party watching something on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just a lobby, essentially.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lobby. Now, obviously, we can't stream it on Twitch, but this could be a Patreon episode. Or we could stream it on Twitch and just not show the video.
Mm-hmm.
Or do something like that. But I have a sneaking suspicion me or you are going to do that at least a couple times. We'll get Ramses. Maybe Bob.
Yeah, maybe. We'll think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're here to talk Overwatch, and there's also been a ton of stuff going on.
I'm trying to go off topic, Totem, and you're stopping me. You're not supposed to do that.
Too late. there's a ton of stuff going on with the league, and it wouldn't be a week without us talking about the Houston Outlaws. And everyone, I'm not gonna say everyone, most people in their staff has kind of abandoned ship. Right? Their front office has seen a number of changes here within the last week. Their general manager, Flame, has left, as well as their facilities and operations manager, Messer. Also, the president of the Houston Outlaws announced his departure, that being Chris Diapollonio, who is also looking to explore some new options. So, it's kind of interesting. And, going into that week, we didn't really know when the next time we would see the Outlaws was going to be. They had kind of they were gaining some momentum and they would have a month off, and then, the schedule changed, which we'll get into here in just a bit. But I felt like if you were going to sort of do some restructuring, the timing didn't seem that off to me. But I wonder if this was just a case of kind of the old guard, not necessarily getting along with maybe some of the newer people that they brought in during the offseason, or if it's just new opportunities presenting themselves, or just something else entirely altogether. But when you look at it with Flame kind of at that GM role, the Outlaws fallen below 500. They finished 33-42 in their regular season matches, and it's been a little bit of a rough start for them also this year, incorporating those new pieces as they have started the 2020 season going 2-5, with their wins coming in their most recent 2 matches. So we don't have any updates in regards to potential replacements or anything like that as of yet. But what did you make of this story? Because it kind of just happened out of the blue here.
All right, if you're watching on live stream, follow with me. This is my shocked face. I mean, this
bad.
team
Make change.
And they haven't been good for a while. For a while. So none of these are surprising moves. And anyone who's oh, they did good last week. No, they're still not a good team.
My favorite is Houston the best hero pool team? It's been 1 week.
No! They're not. Have you seen the San Francisco Shock play yet? No? Shut up then. It's just it's typical moves. Your team is doing crappy. You got rid of your coach. You brought in a new coach. Well, then if the team's still doing crappy, it's probably not your coach has been crappy for 2 weeks. Let's look at the GM bringing in players that don't fit. Let's be real. They brought in Meko, which was good. I like that. They brought in new support players. Mm-hmm. One which was an upgrade, one which was a side grade, really? And they did not improve their DPS lineup at all. They got more of the same on the DPS lineup, but they did not improve it. Not one lineup is better than the other with the new people and old people that they have on their team.
Well, that kind of happens when you basically go out and pick up 2 players who are almost identical player pool and stats.
Yeah. So they didn't get better at DPS. They just got the same at DPS. And they didn't get better at support. They just got the same at support. They didn't go out and get a really good team. And they got Meko has even been underperforming as well. And people who love Jexay, here's the thing about Jexay. Jexay is Kariv 2.0. People love him. He's a fan favorite. But you know what? Because he pulls off these crazy, flashy things on Lucio. That doesn't make him good. It doesn't. Kariv getting all these crazy sleep darts on Ana doesn't make him a great support player. Makes him a good Ana player. So what happens when we don't have Lucio for Jexay to play? Is everyone gonna be like, "Oh my god, Jexay's Mercy is so good"? No.
Well, we'll see. We're really gonna get a picture of that this week with Toby.
Yeah.
With Lucio out.
So it's one of those things where this doesn't surprise me at all in the slightest. I think Houston has potential, but I think they need to. They got B-level talent instead of getting like a couple A-level talents. That's just
me. They essentially shrunk their home office, or like their coaching staff essentially, by half. just about.
Do you think they bring in Bumper?
With the
issues Muma has had.
Bumper had gotten offers, but declined. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Now that's not to say that can't change mid-season at any point.
He's going to become a pro Valorant feeder.
Who knows? I have no idea. You know, some things just don't make sense at all. Just kind of like what the Dragons mascot is. I'm sorry, but I do not like this mascot unveiling that they did. Yes, it is a dragon.
Is it?
I mean, that's what they're saying.
It looks more like a hippopotamus with hair.
It's Charmeleon if it was a hippopotamus.
I am dubbing this person Poopy Face Tomato Nose.
Okay, there you go. Well, anyways,
Poopy Face Tomato Nose, the new mascot of the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons unveiled their new mascot on their Twitter. They're looking to name it. It seems like the front runner name on that front has been Juice. I don't know what the origin behind that is or anything, but basically...
Is he on steroids?
He might be.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't seen the dragons yet, so we don't know if any of them are on the juice.
Flood up.
Potentially. It depends on how much he can deadlift.
Or if he plays.
Well,
who knows?
Who knows? We don't have all the answers, guys. But anyways, you got this mascot who is wearing a Shanghai Dragons t-shirt. He's got a pair of goggles, bright orange wings. You know, he's got that Charmeleon tail, as I mentioned.
What the hell's wrong with his ears?
I don't.
Are those ears? He has antlers. I don't get this thing. Why don't you have horns? You legit have antlers. You are a red reindeer.
I feel like this is dragons just trying to wear a lot of hats and just be different from the norm, right? You know, they've never beaten to the same drum as everyone else. They've kind of always done their own thing, you know, with like the triple DPS comps, kind of just, you know, just doing whatever, and then they just outright make this a very confusing looking mascot, and I don't get it.
No, this is bad. Boo. I'm just gonna, I don't like it. Not that I don't like the way it's drawn or anything like that. It just doesn't fit the dragons. This is something I could see the Hanzo Spark doing or something like that. Because, like, if you remember, the Spark used to come out with those hand-drawn, like, anime cartoon for each matchup. Shanghai hasn't been doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll link the image from their Twitter in the Twitch chat so people can take a look at it. But yeah, it's all very confusing.
He looks like a minotaur. Like, he's got like little tiny legs. He's wearing shoes. Why the hell is he wearing shoes? He's Donald Ducking it, so he's got a t-shirt on but no pants and shoes.
Yeah.
And what's on his arm?
Wrist guard? I don't know.
It looks like that thing from Futurama that Leela wears.
Maybe it's a playbook. Maybe he's the quarterback.
I don't know. This is bad. You suck, Poopy Face Tomato Nose.
But you know what? On one important note, they at least for the attire, like for the jersey, like they kept it with the 2020 season look. You know, so at least we know like this is a newer design. It's not just something that they just hashed up like 2 years ago. But there's so many confusing things. Like he also has like flash wings, like like bolted on the side. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. At least, like, if they put this, you want to know the quickest way to not get me to ever buy a Shanghai Dragons jersey?
Put this
Put
on
this
it.
thing on it. Yeah, hard
There you go.
pass.
We're just gonna nope out of that one and talk about the changes that are happening to the Overwatch League. So the Overwatch League, as I mentioned, is back this weekend, and we have a ton of details after what was the Watchpoint episode this past Sunday. So they had the senior director of the Overwatch League, John Spector, joining the broadcast to unveil details regarding the new schedule. And the new schedule is up on the Overwatch League website. So we got matches resuming on Saturday with the Pacific West Division teams for really the first time in quite a few weeks here. So in action, we have 4 teams this weekend. We have the San Francisco Shock, the Los Angeles Valiant, Los Angeles Gladiators, and finally, we get to see the new look of the Seoul Dynasty. And of course, with this, we are moving to online play. We're not doing any sort of empty arena lands. So the way that they're going to do this, Ed, is they're going to basically divide things into 3 different servers in regards to optimal latency. So basically have all the Atlantic Division teams being based on the East Coast. You have the Pacific West as well as the Dynasty playing on the West. And then you have all the Chinese teams playing on the Asia server. And then, of course, they're also going to be looking to make up games every Friday. And they're hoping to get basically caught up by the beginning of May. So you're going to see a lot of stuff like that was delayed in March and April, getting played here in the next couple of months. And it's because of that, since they are accelerating the makeup games, that they've decided to cancel the mid-season tournament, which is something that a lot of us had been speculating. And then they also postponed the All-Star tournament, so that will be happening at the end of the season. And again, of course, all of this stuff will still be happening on the Overwatch League YouTube channel. Now, online play was kind of like the last resort. I can't say I'm too surprised by that. And it's safe to say this season there have been growing pains with the broadcasting. So it's kind of hard to say out of the gate whether or not this is going to be better or worse in that regard. Regardless, you have to make do with what we're able to in, the current events right now, and this is really the only way that we were going to be able to get games being played. So I'm happy they at least, had, a backup plan. I'm really happy to get to see the Dynasty play this weekend finally, and I just can't wait to see all of these teams that we've yet to see take the stage, except, in this case, it won't be on the stage, it will be online only, but at least we're not in a period now where it's going to be no sports and no esports, so at least we have something to, keep us distracted or busy, whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be chaos for the next few weeks. This weekend, not so much. We're getting a few matches this weekend. Like this weekend, I think we're only having 4 matches? Yeah, so nothing really this weekend that's crazy. The next 2 weeks are a little bit different. Week 8, crazy. No Friday games next week. Well, in our time.
Yeah, it would be like Friday in like Asia.
Night in Asia, but Saturday at 3 a.m. here. But the week after, so week 9, you can't watch all the games. So there's 7 matches on Friday, 9 matches on Saturday, 7 more matches on Sunday in week 9. Okay, you obviously cannot watch all of it. Mm-hmm. Because you'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. every day and go to bed at I don't know, midnight, 1 a.m. Yeah, because the Valiant and Shock play at 11 p.m. on Saturday.
Well, if you've been watching since like closed beta days or remember any of like the 8-hour plus tournaments, this is going to make those pale in comparison. Like,
well, Saturday they're taking a break from like 7 a.m. to like noon. Otherwise, it's for 24 hours, almost 23 hours, because Chengdu versus Shanghai start at 3 a.m. Valiant versus Shock start at 11 p.m. Right. And then Shanghai, the Spark, play at 3 a.m. again. You literally could just go 48 straight hours on 4 hours of sleep to watch all these games. That's not healthy. Now, I get why they're doing it. They need to do this. They need to somehow make it up. And now that it's online, this is the way to go. Esports is the only sport that's being played. I think UFC is doing something. WrestleMania, WWE is doing something really
weird.
Wrestling
is still going on, just at empty venues right now.
Yeah, but that's no offense, that's less of a sport.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's
sports entertainment.
Yeah, it's choreographed sports. This is more like we don't know the outcome. So
it's still real to me, damn it.
No, it's not real. It is not real. Anyone who says it's real is lying to themselves. The bumps they take, the risks they take, 100% real. The outcome, not real. It's not like, oh my god, I can't believe he kicked out of that. No, that was predetermined. Sorry, spoilers. But it's going to be crazy. They need to catch up somehow, and this is the way to do it. So I'm looking at this from a fantasy perspective, like, well, shit. We went from having no one playing to literally everyone playing. You're just like,
yeah, it's gonna be really, really wonky with when rosters lock based on the times and everything. And last I checked, like, I mean, even this weekend stuff wasn't up to par as of yet or working.
It did. Like, I don't know if the API is caught up. It's on the website, but is the API caught up, which screws over every fantasy. Imagine week 9 picking unlimited. They're like, all right, pick your best 6 from 18 teams.
Yeah. Does anyone play twice?
That's not a thing anymore. Like, playing twice is not a thing.
But
to what it was last year, because it just takes your 3 best maps.
Yeah, but I'm still saying, like, it's still more maps.
Like, odds are they have better maps. But yeah, fantasy-wise, this is going to be a shit show. Or we all by the numbers next week is going to be fun.
That's assuming everything is completely up to date.
Yeah, assuming everything. Yeah, assuming we can play fantasy Overwatch outside pick'ems.
So not only are we moving to online play, but we also have some changes coming to the hero draw that happens every Sunday during the Watchpoint post-show. And this has been something that a lot of us have been clamoring for, and that is weighted odds for the lottery. So the way that they're going to do this is they're going to be between 1 and 4 tickets, depending on what the play rate of the hero is. So, initially it was basically like anyone basically would have like 4 tickets if they were above a certain threshold. Now, if you were a hero that sees play 10 to 24% of the time, you will get 1 ticket. Then like the next 25% up gets 2 tickets. Then it goes to 3 tickets, and then 4 tickets for anyone that is played above 75% of the time. So basically, this should lessen the chance that, say, the most popular played hero of the given, prior 2 weeks won't be banned in the upcoming week of play. Now, this is kind of in line with what we're seeing with, say, the ladder hero pool. It's still early on. We're seeing a new iteration. And, to an extent, I feel like we didn't see enough to really get an idea of if we were only going to see kind of like a meta rotation week to week with that prior system. So I'm not like completely opposed to implementing something new, especially something that a lot of people are actually hoping for. But they might have jumped the gun a little bit. I would have liked to see a couple more weeks to see how things would shake out, because I think at the end of the day, there probably won't be a lot of weeks where, say, we won't have like an oddball selection out of the lottery that has like less tickets compared to the field.
Yeah, this is basically anyone who is an NBA fan. This is how the NBA draft works. So, like, the way the NBA draft works is the worst team, they literally put ping pong balls in a thing. And the team with the worst record gets the most, and then it goes down slowly from there for the top, like, 13 teams. This is how it's going to work. Whoever's the most played will have the most ping pong balls. Now, that's not saying that the two lowest will get picked, but they can. It's just less likely. Mm-hmm. So, and there's going to be weeks where the number one play tank, the two top DPS, and the number one support will get picked. That's just odds in that favor, which is fine. They just don't want it where, like, May hasn't been banned at all and has just been constantly, up there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, the Widowmaker gets banned for barely sneaking over the 10% mark. So this is basically what they're trying to do, and this is the right move. This is the way it should have been from the get-go. It should have been weighted. It shouldn't have just been random between all who were played equal over all that were played.
Well, Ed, I look forward to the week when they decide to ban 5 supports.
No, they're not banning 5 supports.
Okay, 2.
I would be okay with it.
But, I'm sure people will be livid one way or the other. But anyways, so the last bit of news, at least with the Overwatch League, that was also announced during Watchpoint, is that we got a new map pool coming into the fold. I'm pretty sure it starts this weekend. So no changes on the control map front, as all of those maps are still in play. The new assault maps, we have Hanamura, Volskaya, and Paris. Ugh. Womp womp. We have Hollywood, Eichenwald, and Numbani for our hybrid maps, with Escort being Route 66, Rialto, and Dorado. So, yeah, not too thrilled about Paris being back in the rotation. We got a couple of hosts on the network that might be looking forward to it for some strange reason. But, anything out here really stand out to you that you're looking forward to seeing back in competitive play here?
I actually am excited to see Paris. As weird as that sounds, is when you saw, like, last time we saw Paris, and I may be completely wrong, last time we really saw Paris was when it was the GOATS. Or, no, we saw it with Double Shield with Sigma Orisa.
A little bit. Bunker.
Yeah, a little bit of Bunker.
Essentially.
Now, the thing is are we going to be seeing that this week? With hero pools being different, do we see a different version of this, of what people will be playing? So, like, I'm interested to see what other team comps they can come up with on Paris.
Well, they can't speed boost past the choke. They can still teleport.
They can teleport, so maybe we start seeing more Symmetra in there, which I'm fine with. Symmetra in pro play is actually super fun to watch. Because they do shit that I can't even imagine. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna TP on top of here, go swing around here, and then we'll surprise. Say what now?
Mm.
Like, you what in the what now? Okay, sure, we'll go with that. So I'm interested to see all this, and see what happens. I just want to see. Honestly, I don't care what maps they're on.
Mm.
I just want to see how Soul is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my big thing is that I want to see how Soul does.
Yeah, they
Because-
do not have an easy start to the season because they open Saturday at 1 p.m. Or 11 a.m. Pacific time. Soul Dynasty versus a Shock, followed by a Battle of LA between the Gladiators and the Valiants. The other games being Gladiators versus Dynasty and Valiant versus Shock. So, will Dynasty beat London Spitfire Light? Or London Spitfire 2.0? I absolutely have no idea. But I'm looking forward to seeing Profits rocking the Dynasty gear. That's assuming they even do player cams. I would imagine they might do snippets here and there, but it won't be like full on like it usually is for the LAN stuff.
Yeah, it's because that's one thing and I may have missed what when they said this, but did they announce like where the teams will be playing from?
I honestly don't know it because I didn't actually watch the watch point.
It was a bit long.
Mhm.
45 minutes. I tried watching it. I had it on it while I was at home working, but you don't pay full attention when you're working and trying to watch it. But yeah, I don't know where each team will be playing from. Will they be playing in an empty arena? Will they just be playing in practice facilities? Like, does everyone have a practice facility? Stuff like that. So I'm interested to see this.
Right on, and just it'll be a little bit different not having like a home crowd for like the Battle of LA. It's another thing going to be different compared to what it had been in the past, just being stationed at the Blizzard Arena. But one way or another, happy to see the Shock back in action. Can't wait to see how the Dynasty looks, even if they don't have the easiest start of the season for sure. But it's going to be a very intriguing week, knowing that there won't be any Lucio play across the board since he was drawn in the hero pool. So, yeah. But
Lucio, I think, is probably the one hero that will change
the most.
the meta the most. Because get rid of Reinhardt, there's still other shield options, which you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of any DPS. You can sub out other DPS and kind of be similar. You can't sub out speed boost. That's just one thing you cannot sub out. So, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited.
But of course, there is an elephant in the room. Obviously, the big news today was Hero 32 unveiling. It had basically been a week of teases on the Play Overwatch Twitter, and we finally know who the new hero is. And it's been someone that has been seen in Overwatch for a while now, dating back to, early concept art. She was a very important part in the Overwatch 2 cinematic. That, of course, being Echo. So, we got like this reveal stream today, with our dev and savior, Papa Jeffrey Cap, praise him. And he was there on Tim the Tatman's stream. And, I had to say, like, the amount of people that I saw being like, ugh, why is Tim streaming this?
Because he had 100,000 viewers.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, someone out there is always going to be like, there's someone that is more deserving. But Tim was a very integral part of the Overwatch streaming community for quite some time. Yes, he doesn't play it as much now, but it's all about reach. And yeah, as you said, he had over 100,000 viewers, which was up from, I want to say he had like 30-ish K, if I'm not mistaken, before that,
beforehand
when he
playing-
was playing Warzone.
Uh-huh.
With some pretty notable streamers as well on that front. But you know, I hate when people do that. They do that with these type of streams. They do that with anytime there's a new challenge or anything like in that regard. People just need to calm the F down. Like, seriously.
So here's my question to all those people who are like that. If you were releasing a product, would you want to release a product with someone with 100,000 viewers, like Tim the Tatman, or is someone with 4,000 viewers, like they had with Sinatra when Jeff Kaplan was on that stream?
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff went from Tim's to Sinatra's. He went from 100,000 viewers down to 4. Why would you pick the 4,000 over the 100,000? And Tim, so this is another thing. They didn't pay Tim.
Mm-hmm.
He just wanted to do it. So it wasn't one of those sponsored streams they paid to get him. So they paid nothing for 100,000 people to come out. That's insane. And then afterwards, he went and played with Seagull, Emong, ML, and I forgot who else, Jay, and was playing for a few hours. DeFran was streaming Tim's stream. Like,
Oh, I was waiting for you to tell me that he was spawn camping him like the old days.
yeah, no, like DeFran was was streaming Tim's stream on his channel, and stuff like that. It's you go with the biggest names. It's why people like Shroud, Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, Nadeshot, all those people get so much money to play these games. Tim, who's one of the biggest names on Twitch, did this for free. This is the biggest no-brainer ever. So deal with it. Plain and simple. Like, and it was fun to watch. Because Jeff didn't know stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff didn't know how to tell when a shield was half broken.
Right, or what her golden gun looks like.
I'll forgive the golden gun. How does Jeff, who's been working on this game for 7 years, not know what a shield, Reinhardt's shield looks like when it's half broken?
Or May Icewall, for that matter.
Right? Like, I'm pretty sure I know that shit down in gold and silver. I'm like, when I see it crack, that means it's at half health. He did not know this. So
Papa, what are you doing?
it was not his shining moment.
Well, that's gonna be embarrassing. What can I say? So, okay, who is Echo, right? Like, that's really the big question. So, here's a little bit of lore for you guys, and then we'll get into the toolkit. And first impressions, all of that stuff. So, we had to talk about one of the original Overwatch members, that being Mina Liao, who was an expert in artificial intelligence and robotics. This is someone that had worked for the Omnix Corporation, who had built the Omnix originally. So you had Jack Morrison, aka Soldier76, who was looking to hire Mina to get a better understanding and just educate the Overwatch team when it comes to the Omnic crisis. So after we saw the Omnics and the humans start to establish peace, you had Mina essentially continuing to do her research kind of like on the side. And then we had this Echo project. So Echo is an adaptive learning robot, which Jack was very reluctant about given like how easily things could get out of hand. And honestly, guys, if we know anything about self-learning AI, right, it's not a good idea. Movies have taught us this.
Right? If Terminator has taught me one thing.
Yeah, so if
AI is deadly.
If at any point Echo ends up destroying the world. Do not act surprised. But anyways, it wasn't long into this project that Echo started to adapt Liao's voice. You know, the robot continued to watch the heroes, learning to do basically what they were doing, as well as the way that they did it. So basically, you have Echo and Echo's sentience developing, and she began to start to question her place in the world. So a lot of confusion going on, not knowing what her purpose is, things like that. And then you had McCree, who was basically sent to guard Mina Liao, as well as the research that was taking place. Now, at one point, you know, the project was completely shut down, and that was after Mina was killed in an attack on her laboratory. And then, of course, you know, we saw the whole reunion bit. We actually recovered Echo. That was during the reunion animation that had McCree and Ash. And, you know, we most recently saw Echo come to the aid of the Overwatch team in 0 Hour, when they were basically battling against the Null Sector. So a lot of stuff kind of happening here. But man, anytime I see self-learning, I was like, oh man, you know something is going to go awry. Not if, but when.
I mean, first off, this Mina person, she's basically the reason the game exists. Like, she kind of created the Omnic Crisis. Like, let's
you
just get
worked
that
for
out
the
of the
big bad back in the day.
Like, you are the reason they exist.
So, if she's the reason that they exist, and then she was also the reason why the crisis was averted, and then she ends up causing another one, things are really gonna come full circle then, right? Like...
No. See, here's the thing. If you cause mass genocide, like the Omnic Crisis has done, doing some good against them does not make you a good person. Kylo Ren killed millions upon billions of people, blew up planets, just because at the end of the movie he realized the error in his ways does not make him a redeemable person. She is not a redeemable person. She created the Antichrist in the game. So, yeah, Echo could probably turn out to be a bad person.
Yeah, you know,
Bad
Echo,
machine.
and here's proof of this. Echo also the reason, it's because of her help, right, that May wasn't killed. In the cinematic.
See?
That's all the proof you need. We're done.
I mean, this is what the Overwatch team has done. They created more lore that they won't answer and will not go further on. There you go. I want to be really excited about this, but then I know this is the end of the story.
For now.
And we're not, no, it's not even for now. We've been saying for now for 4 years. Like, there is not going to be a big lore thing that we're going to get.
And this is why I really just want to know what was planned for that canceled novel. You know?
Right? Like, you can say, oh, well, there's the rumblings of the Overwatch series. Still not going to probably happen. Because they haven't started it now. It's not with, like, Netflix or anything right now because that would have been leaked. Kind of like the Diablo thing has. So, if anything, it's a couple years away.
More than likely.
And at that point, we'll be on to Overwatch 2 with a whole different lore, whole different all that stuff. So, whatever. It is what it is. I just don't. I'm not reading. I like the lore, but I don't want to get excited about it
Mm-hmm.
because they've broken my heart so many goddamn times.
Now, let's talk a few other things before we go into our toolkit. One of the most important tidbits that we got from these different Papa Jeffrey Cap interviews, praise him, was that Echo is the last new hero until Overwatch 2. So keep that in mind. There was a little bit of a wait in between hero releases here, between Hero 31 and Hero 32. Given the time differential, it's still feasible that Overwatch 2 might come out this year. And with Valorant coming out in the summer, you kind of have to imagine Blizzard targeting summer for a beta. Like, that's not too much of a reach.
No, it's not. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, beta, summer, and then Overwatch 2 probably release in September, October, November, right around there, because right now I'm banking on no BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone's kind of given up the BlizzCon hopes at this point, because one, it hasn't been announced. Two, they have an out. Like, as horrible as the coronavirus is, Blizzard has an out to be like, there's just not enough to announce.
Well, that
there's
the event calendar.
They don't even have to bring that up. There's not that much to announce, and with all the issues with COVID-19 and stuff like that, we've decided to postpone BlizzCon till next year. There you go. No one's going to be like, how dare you? No. People are going to be like, oh, that sucks, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always predicted that Overwatch 2 would probably be out around the time of the BlizzCon this year. So I'm going to stick with that. Like, October, November, but beta could be July. Because then you get 2-3 months worth of beta, which is, I think, plenty. And, you're seeing leaks of more of these abilities and stuff more flush. So I could definitely see them throwing that out there to compete with Valorant.
All right, let's talk about the toolkit. Now, for starters, Echo is a damage hero. And okay, cue the mass hysteria, Ed, right? Everyone on Twitter, WTF Blizz, I thought it was gonna be a support. It was, there were rumors that it would be a support. Nothing confirmation-wise, but everyone's just like, okay, there's only 7 supports. It's gotta be a support, right? Right? No. And then you have the other people that are like, okay, cool, another damage dealer. Well, goodbye. Like, the queue times are gonna get, so much worse now. Which I can kind of understand, too. But a lot of people were not happy that we do not have another support in the game. Now, I know there is the very bland Band-Aid answer that our Daffy Savior, Papa Jeffrey Cap, praise him, mentioned, and that's the fact that we have multiple new tanks and new heroes in the works, right? That's something they say basically all the time. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because, that's not the case. But I feel like a lot of the animosity towards the classification for Echo stems from the fact that supports as a whole aren't happy about the fact that there really hasn't been a support hero that has had great skill ceilings, so to speak, since Ana came out. So a lot of people are just looking for more in that regard, and then they just see another damage dealer coming out. So they're bent out of shape about it, but they'll find something else to complain about in another week or so. I can assure you of that. But I'd say, the toolkit here, very interested, and to a degree, right? This hero is literally everything, right? Like, you can legit duplicate. so,
Mhm.
so it's a tank? Primarily a
Oh,
damage dealer, but you can also be a support.
okay.
Only for limited amounts of time.
Okay. So I want to get this out of the way. The complaint that this is the episode where Ednar is like, community, shut up. But I'm gonna say it again. Community, shut up. Uh are you fully expecting them to not at this point, are you like, well, we can't release a DPS hero until everything's equal, so we need 9 more tanks and 9 more supports before we release 1 DPS? No,
Not feasible.
that's not how it works. um because like the DPS are probably the most vital thing to the game. Like, you don't want to get, there's only so many ways you can heal people.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many ways you can protect people. But there's a lot of different ways you can damage people.
Yeah,
Right?
the last damage hero that was released was Ashe. So Ashe
Yep.
was unveiled at BlizzCon 2018, released November 13th, 2018.
Yep. And the most that has been released since the game launched, support players. So we've had Anna, Moira, Brig, Baptiste. We've had 4 supports. We've had, well, 4 damage dealers now with Echo, and then 3 tanks. Um, and every support that comes out, except for maybe Baptiste, has been meta defining as soon as they come out. With Anna, Moira, Brigette, Baptiste not as much, but still has always been viable. Whereas damage, it takes 6-7 months before they become worth a damn.
Right, and usually, when you think about it, there's maybe 4 or 5 that would be considered, quote, meta.
Mm-hmm. Now, the big complaint I hear is, well, this is going to screw up DPS queues. Was one support over a DPS going to fix the queues? Like, was it magically going to be like, flip a switch and be like, all right, we added a support. Now DPS have the shortest queues. No, you are still going to have the longest queues as DPS, whether Echo was there or not. It's not in comp. Echo's not in comp yet, so it won't affect any comp queues. And when Echo is in comp, it won't change the queues at all. Maybe it skews quick play queues a little bit, but it's quick play. You know what? Deal with it. I have zero problem with them adding another damage dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Zero problem. Now, where I do have the problem is with the queues. I don't think Echo is going to make DPS queues worse, but I just have a problem with the queues in general. And they could add 2 tanks and 2 supports. It won't change the queues whatsoever.
Well, everyone wants to be damaged, essentially.
Yeah, everyone wants those flashy plays. You know, in World of Warcraft, there was a good amount of support of healers and a good amount of tanks. And DPS queues for dungeons and like Cataclysm were 50 minutes for a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just the way games work. People want to be damage plays. So this would not, Echo being a support would not have affected the queues whatsoever, in my mind. So, whatever. We're going to get numerous heroes with the release of Overwatch 2.
It is.
That they did say.
It's basically 3 or 4 is what we're looking at.
Yeah, they said, I remember them saying that. They didn't confirm a specific amount, but they said 3 or 4 at BlizzCon with the release of Overwatch 2.
Right. And chances are, none of them might even be a damage dealer. You know?
Yeah. Like, who says Sojourn is a damage dealer? Like we know Sojourn's coming. They confirmed that at BlizzCon. We just don't know what Sojourn is. Could be support, could be damage, could be tank. Who knows? But we don't know who's coming. Evil Maui could be coming. It's a tank player, probably.
Or maybe it's another replicant. We don't know.
Yep. But let's go. Let's talk about Echo because Echo is pretty crazy.
All right, well, let's go ability by ability here.
Okay.
So Echo's primary fire is Tri-Shot, which is a 3-bullet projectile that deals 17 damage per bullet. So let's see, doing multiplying this really quick. 17 times that by 3, 51 damage. Okay. And then your clip consists of 16 shots altogether. Now, I don't know what the reload time is. We don't have, like, all the stats on that end, but
it's pretty quick.
It looked fairly quick. So, all in all, pretty decent poke damage. It's very similar to, like, Genji shurikens.
Yep.
But I feel like the rest of her kit is really where things get more intriguing.
Yeah, the Tri-Shot is basically, it's the filler spell of all of it. Like, you're not going to dominate with the Tri-Shot.
Right, it's your poke ability, essentially.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is on cooldown. I'll hit this. Or I need to do something real quick. I'll hit this.
Now...
this is the most boring part. That's the most boring part of her kit.
Now here's where we get interested, Ed. We got an alternate fire that is Sticky Bombs, which is a volley of sticky bombs that detonate after a delay. This is an ability that has a 6-second cooldown. Damage-wise, you're looking at 6 damage per volley, 5 damage on impact, and then it does 31 explosion damage for the detonation. And, like, this is really, like, the first thing that stood out. Outside of the fact that, yeah, this character can fly. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But we haven't really seen a ton of grenade-type weapons in Overwatch yet, or at least abilities. Like, obviously, we have, like, grenade launchers for Junkrat. We got Pharah rockets and things like that. But outside of that, the only thing that really stuck to anything was, like, a Tracer Pulse Bomb. And this is, like, it's like not as potent as an ultimate, obviously, because this is a regular ability, but it's just another thing that you could attach to walls, attach to shields, and get more of that, explosion damage out there. So I really like the idea of this particular ability.
Yeah, no, this ability is actually pretty sickening. Like, this is probably going to be the go-to ability for Echo. Because it's one of those things where you can stick it to, if you're truly skilled, you can stick it to multiple targets. You can stick it to multiple things because it doesn't shoot them all at once. It kind of does in like a line, like it's shoot, shoot, shoot. So if like you're aiming across, you can put it on 2 people and then have one of the sticky bombs on the wall behind them. And it does a pretty good amount of damage. Like, if you stick all 3 onto one person, they're basically dead. So this is it's a pretty good ability. This is what's, I think, gonna make Echo very viable over any of her other abilities even. This is probably the one that's gonna be the most viable. I do want to do some testing with it because like they mentioned that it sticks to shields and it damages shields, which is awesome. Shield breakers, that's great. Now, what happens if you throw it and you stick it to a Reinhardt shield, and then as soon as it sticks, Reinhardt drops a shield?
Yeah, like, would it explode in that instance?
Exactly. Like, I don't know if it would do damage to the shield still,
or if
because
it would
it's
just,
stuck
like, drop.
to drop and then do damage to the people, and then he can pop his shield back up without damaging the shield. Like, this is stuff I want to know, because if you can do that, that makes really good Reinhardt players that much more important. So I'm interested to see that. That's something I'll have to science, or screw that. We're not going to do that. We'll make Spider do that.
So the E ability for Echo is the Focusin Beam, which deals high damage to targets that are below 50% health. So the beam itself has a 20-meter range. It lasts for 2.5 seconds. So when we're talking damage-wise, initially it does like 50 DPS normally, but if the target is below 50%, then it ramps up pretty excessively, and it's at 200 DPS to targets below 50%. So think of it as maybe more of a way to finalize kills in this case, kind of like a mortal type strike ability, since it does have like a similar threshold in that regard. And this ability also works on things like ice walls as well as barriers.
Yeah, so this is where the barrier talk kind of came into account. I think this is pretty good against shields and main walls. I don't know if it's going to be that effective against other heroes because it is like a niche ability.
Yeah, it's very
It's like
similar to like what we're seeing with Symmetras being protected and like having to hide behind like their Reinhardts essentially in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, so like this is definitely the focusing beam is, while it seems cool and flashy in theory, it's going to be one of those abilities that you're not going to really get that much effect out of, because it just requires there to be so many instances where you can pull this off. Like, one, it has to be off cooldown. Two, the other person has to be below 50% health. Three, you have to be able to channel it. So
I
like
do want to note really quick that the range on this compared to Symmetra's primary fire, this one is a little bit longer. I believe Symmetra's is only 12 meters. This one is 20.
Yes, but it only lasts like 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's 2.5. So it's a very short burst of damage here.
Yeah, so I'm still not sold on it. It could be useful in situations, but this is not like an oh my god ability. Which I mean, I don't think is needed with the rest of her kit that we'll get into. It's just like you said, it's a good finishing ability. So let's get to her good parts of her kit.
So Echo does have flight. So that is her movement ability, which is, of course, tied to shift. So Echo basically surges forward quickly, and then you're able to fly freely. Now, this does have a 6-second cooldown. And I have to say, you can cover quite a bit of ground with her flying capabilities. Yes. You do also kind of like glide as you fall, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, as they mentioned, it's more of like a hang glider, so to speak, compared to more of a hover with, say, like Pharah or Mercy with her Guardian Angel or anything like that. And, you can cover some, like, if we're talking like height-wise, like verticality, really good. Which means that in regards to dealing with Pharahs, Echo is going to be pretty damn good.
Oh, 100%, because you can aim her abilities 10 times better than you can aim Pharah's rocket. Like Pharah, Far Mercy versus Meko? We'll just call it a Meko. Mercy, Echo, Meko. Meko would win because a Pharah, you're trying to predict where they're going to be, whereas Echo, you're shooting 3 like shots. It's just the aiming's a little bit different. Like you have to have a direct hit with the Pharah's rockets, whereas with the tri-shot, you got way more wiggle room. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting that way. The glide works a little bit like Tracer too. So whatever way you're facing or your movement is going, so if you're moving back and you hit this, you'll move. It kind of like goes like in that direction and up. So if you're moving forward, you go forward and up, backwards and up, left and up, yeah, and so on and so forth like that. Now you do have the float ability, which if you just hit the spacebar and float, it's basically the exact same as Mercy's. If you're not moving, if you're just floating down, same movement, kind of speed, and everything. Now, Mercy though has that same speed in every direction, where Echo does not. Like, so you can like legitimately get to the point very quick as Echo. Maybe not as quick as some heroes, but definitely like not as fast as Tracer can get there. You know what I mean? But probably pretty close to like Soldier, I'd say. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this works, because you can either slowly fall or you can drop on them.
Or use it as an escape as well.
Yep. The way I saw in streams today that it was being used most effective is like when you go up, you use her ult, which we'll get into in a second. You hit her ult, and then you kind of can do it from above while you're falling on people. So you select who you want your ult to be, and then you're falling, and they're not expecting the ult to come from above.
Right.
And then you do that, and that is definitely something where it's probably going to be the most effective.
And because you do have that verticality aspect, being more of like a dive bomber type setup definitely will come into play as well. I have a feeling like even if you're half decent at like low levels with Echo, very similar to Pharah, like this is gonna be a very hard character to deal with at low elos.
Yes.
Now
it's a very high skill ceiling though.
Yeah.
Very high skill ceiling. Like they marked it as a 2-star difficulty on the website. No, just no. This is probably the most skilled DPS hero since probably, I don't know, Doomfist is kind of this way. To play Doomfist properly, but maybe even Genji. So definitely not as easy as they may have put it.
Well, luckily, if you're bad at Echo and you get an ult, you could just be a different hero altogether. Because her ultimate
for 15
ability
seconds
is Duplicate, which is exactly as it sounds. So Echo duplicates a targeted enemy hero and gains use of their abilities. Now, this lasts for 15 seconds, and I can guarantee you this aspect of it is going to get nerfed. Right now, the ult generation during Duplicate is 650%. Now, I know when I was watching Sinatra on Tracer, he was basically getting 4 pulse bombs in 15 seconds. That is substantial. Obviously, that is under ideal conditions, all that good stuff, but getting multiple ultimates off during a 15-second window is a little broken. Now, that being said, basically what happens is, one, you get to select a target, an enemy target, and it has to be someone that is within line of sight in order to trigger this. You basically then become that character. So you essentially copy the hero. You have, like, their same health, you keep all their abilities, all of that stuff, and then, you can just have kind of like a field day with it for 15 seconds, and it feels pretty absurd, I'll be honest.
It is pretty absurd.
Now, our Death Savior, Papa Jeffrey Cap, praise him. He noted that in their internal testing, they have usually been using Duplicate for tanks or like long cooldown base heroes. So like the examples they gave were Mercy for, say, Resurrect, Baptiste for his lamp. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this ultimate is going to come into play. Now, they did have it initially where you could just copy anyone on the field, But then they kind of like honed into like just one very specific strat, and that was to do like dual Dragon Blades. And then there was just like no way to really counter it. So then they changed it to be target enemy only. Now, I know a lot of people that have been watching like the streams and stuff, they just look at this and they're like, oh my god, how can they put this in the game?
Mm-hmm.
And it's early, guys. Like, if they're going to tone anything, it's definitely going to be the ult gen here.
Maybe. Like I said, people, the ultimate people exaggerated or flipped out about this, like they do with every ability, new hero with all their abilities. Like, this is so broken. This is ridiculous. Now, if you can only limit it to 6 heroes, niche, DPS heroes are probably not going to be effective at really all in actual games.
The other like recommendation that I saw a lot, like basically when you die as a duplicated hero, you go back as being Echo. You know, a lot of people were looking for potentially, like, let's say the duplicate dies, that your hero actually dies, and then you go back to respawn.
Yeah, that is one thing that I can see being changed, is you don't get an extra life out of this. Your ultimate gives you an extra life. So, you know, I can see it being that way, changed that way. I don't think the ult gain really is that, because, all right, so here's the thing. You have to gain an ult really quick. Because otherwise it's the most useless ult in the world. Your ult is to go into another hero, but then not use their ult. Like, that is just useless at that point. That's a bad ult. You need to be able to hit that ult at least once. Some you may be able to hit twice, depending on the situation, but more often than not, you're not going to get 2 ults out of it. You're going to get 1, and you can, in some way, kind of control what ult they get. Based on the heroes that you pick. Now, the most broken that I've seen, and I tested this out with Spider, is Lucio. So Lucio's ult does stack. So you can get up to 1,500 health and armor on your team with double Lucio.
Yeah, the ult essentially gets earned like 6.5 times faster than what it would be normally in this case. But like, not everything stacks. I know people were doing like Brigitte rallies that didn't seem to be added in.
You can't nano, like here's the thing, is most of the abilities you cannot get ult charge while the ult's going off.
Right.
So most of the time you're not going to get ults. Like, all right, so imagine this. Imagine, because Echo becomes a thing, the tank line becomes Sigma Zarya. Well, for starters, Sigma Zarya is actually, with this, to get an ult in 15 seconds is not that easy, because Zarya's beam does so little damage because it starts off at 0. Like, you cannot predict it. Sigma, it's not that easy to get a Sigma ult off on it because his attacks are so slow. You need to get like good 6-7 hits on there, so that's over 10 seconds right there. So what happens if Sigma Zarya becomes the tank duo? Then you're just kind of SOL. You're just like, well, I'm not going to take the tanks. You can't take Echo. That leaves the 2 supports and 1 other DPS. Well, if the other DPS is Widowmaker, what's the point of Widowmaker? Like, getting Widowmaker's DPS or ults. You know what I mean? Like, there are ways around this. That's why I don't think it's as broken as people think it is.
Yeah, that would be more if like you need something to counter snipe, essentially. Like there are a couple of other tidbits here to mention. Like, let's say you revert back to Echo from your ult. You do go back to full base HP as Echo. You also start with like whatever the base HP of your selected target is when you do use your ultimate. And then whenever you revert back to Echo, it also does interrupt whatever ability you were using at that time. Now, outside of that, the other important thing to note is that Echo cannot target behind enemy barriers with, like trying to like select an enemy with the ult as well. So just a couple of things to definitely keep in mind whenever you are testing things out. You're muted.
Ah, shit. So one massive change that came to the game, which everyone can rejoice because of this ult, is you can now toggle in game when you lock onto someone. You get an option, like, so you can target and then you have to click yes, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like, oh my god, oh yeah, a pop-up pops up and you have to click yes. No, something comes up in target and then you right click again for it to be the person. This not only is just for her, her. Echo's a she. We'll go with her. It also counts for Ana for her nano boost. So no more,
Boostio.
goddamn Lucios hopping in or like accidentally nanoing Widowmaker. Like, really? So this is like a targeting thing for almost all abilities. So it will be interesting. Now you have to be careful with this. And this is again science, but I'm assuming it's all targeted abilities. Like,
okay.
So here's the would that be? No, that wouldn't be. I was thinking more Baguette's shields. Like, it wouldn't make you choose that you're choosing the right one by shooting that at them, would it? No, it
Probably
wouldn't.
not. I know the only examples we heard were Ana and Echo.
Yeah. So this will become science because obviously, and that would be horrible because then it would also be on Ana's guns. So, no. I don't think it's going to be.
No, I think.
But we'll test it out.
I think like things like Deadeye, Tactical Visor, things like that aren't part of that.
Yeah. So it will be interesting. I think Echo's going to be strong. I don't think she's broken like everyone says.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion. I'm not going to jump on the Echo's my main bandwagon. Echo seems fun. A lot of fun. I think she'll change up the game. It will add a giant skill cap to the game. But I don't think she's game breaking. But I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. So if she becomes game breaking, I expect a lot of tuning on the PTR.
All I can think of is, though, it's like, okay, we want 2-2-2, and then everyone is just like, oh man, here comes triple tank or triple support again. I'm just waiting for like the cross shatter plays that are going to ensue because of this, Could happen. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to note here. I know, like, in regards to the sticky bomb, you can self-damage yourself with the explosion, so be mindful of that. I want to say it was like 15 self-damage in that regard. The explosion area of effect isn't like too huge. I think it's only like 2 meters, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, across the board, there's other things to note, like with the flight, you can manually cancel it by pressing the ability again.
Yep.
Same with the focus beam. And honestly, like, I think that covers the majority of it. I haven't really seen too many other, like, minor details.
There's no passive ability or anything like that. They consider the floating down a passive. So don't look for that. But this is definitely someone that's going to be tweaked a lot. Don't expect this to be the final form of Echo.
Right.
Because her ult is going to be very much... They could only do so much testing to find stuff that's broken internally. the community will find broken things.
Yeah, I did find it funny that, you know, our Dev and Savior Papa Jeffrey Cap praised him. I was like so worried how this ultimate is going to be one of the more like game breaking like bug type things in the game.
Oh, 100.
More so now than anything else. And then like they ate it back. Like it had always basically been D.Va because of the 2 different forms, and now you basically have someone that can be literally any hero in the game essentially. So
Yeah.
who knows what sort of shenanery we're gonna see from the bug fix side of things.
Reaper, I think, is basically dead in this game if Echo becomes a thing. Because like that is the one DPS that like you can go down, drop on a tank, get 2 shots on them, and then ult. And they have to scatter at that point. And then you can get 2 more shots in and ult again. Like that is the one DPS hero I think that could be just bonkers as hell. Ashe could be, but with shields, it's so iffy. Like you have to do so much damage concurrently to get 2 bobs that it's just not worth it. Like you need to have a bob within the first like 3 seconds of ulting to get 2 bobs, and that's not feasible. So Genji could be pretty bad. Could be bad in a good way. Like, because you could Genji ultimate, get another one, and then Genji nano.
Yeah, but that duration is so long though for Dragon Blade. That would eat up a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Double Earth Shatter?
I mean, Earthshatter would probably be one of the better ones.
Or Wrecking Ball Bombs?
Potentially. I mean, you definitely. I wonder
Drop it on.
how much of like a control point you could cover in Minefield.
Yeah, because like you could drop it on one half, shoot like 6 shots, drop it again on the other half, and then have the entire point covered in bombs, and be like, "Come at me now," because those bombs will stay there past the duration.
Right. Now,
Like
the only thing with like the Dragon Blade though is I'm pretty sure that's a 6-second ultimate, so you wouldn't get the full use out of 2 even under ideal
yeah,
circumstances.
it's if they have something like external, like Bob stays out there, the bombs stay out there. Maze ultimate will stay out there. Blizzard will stay out there. D.Va could do some work with 2 D.Va bombs. In theory.
Yeah, the only downside to that is you're still having to earn your mech back, though.
Oh, yeah, you really do.
So I feel like at times that would be cutting it back.
When you ultimate, you get the mech back right away.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the duration it takes you to get back into
to get back.
It's
into
not
the
like
mech.
an immediate transition.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm just trying to think. Zen ult, not really a thing. Like you'd have to earn it, and then you could use it once.
Well, I guess the bigger question is like, let's say you get demeched as a duplicate D.Va. Do you then become baby D.Va, or do you just go back to being Echo?
God, I don't know.
Like that's another.
No, when you duplicate D.Va and you bomb, you become baby D.Va and you get back in.
Right.
That does happen. So
I just don't know if it's different from getting ejected versus being the one to eject.
Yeah. Imagine accidentally doing this on baby D.Va. You're like, shit. The worst possible thing. Mercy, I don't think it would be good for Mercy unless
You need a res.
Yeah, unless you need
Maybe
a res.
situational.
Yeah. Symmetra, no. Doomfist, no. Sombra, maybe? You could probably get 2 EMPs off with Sombra. Because it's such a quick ultimate,
Right.
and you can start charging up again. So Sombra wouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. We'll see what the community brings. because you know they're gonna break it.
A lot of experimenting to be done here in the weeks ahead. Now that Echo is available to test on the PTR. Now they basically did note that the reason why Echo is not in, say, the experimental card is because of the new assets. So that was not an option. That's why they're doing the PTR. So for all of you PS4, Switch, Xbox One players, you are SOL until Echo goes live on the servers. So you are not able to test her, unfortunately. But I think one of the coolest things that we do get out of Echo is the fact that when you do use an ultimate from another hero, she does have a voice line for all of the heroes. That's a lot of like VO work to be done.
Right.
And I thought like that was such an interesting concept. And then like over time, like if we're talking about lore really quickly, like I want to see how Echo is going to do in the world now that Mina Liao is dead. Like, how is she going to differentiate or whatever at this point compared to what she
Like,
had been in
those
the past?
Omnics had the right idea.
Right?
Like
they can cause a
the way that
lot of
Bastion
damage.
thinks.
God
the VO
forbid
work.
us. God forbid us if if Echo just goes to Volskaya, right? And
like,
just clones
awkward.
the giant mechs.
Lord. Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, no, we'll see how things get broken soon. You know it's gonna be broken. Like, this kid is set up for someone to find something broken.
Yep.
So.
And then we'll be here every step of the way for it.
Wait, we're not done with the podcast? We're not canceling it?
No, it's not. It wasn't 201 and done. It was 201 canceled.
Oh.
Oh.
Not 202 and deuce?
202 and deuces?
Yep. No?
I don't know.
Just leave you hanging.
Yeah, it could be today. Could be tomorrow. Could be never. I mean, we could just be stuck in a time chamber.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sure.
But you know, since Echo's face is like a hologram, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with like facial animations for the character.
Yeah. Like, it would be funny if like she got different facial animations as like a skin, and it was one of each hero.
Like we've already seen like the face changing skin for Sombra.
Mm-hmm. See, it's already in the game. Make it happen.
It's gonna happen. It's on the air. It has to happen now.
Yeah.
The footage is out
Everything
there.
we say must occur.
Yep. Same with using our name for convention panels.
Dicks.
Good times. But anyways,
Yes.
update PTR, hop on the PTR, playtest the new hero. Let us know what you think of the new hero and what sort of crazy shenanigans you were up to in regards to uses for her ultimate. And we'll hopefully hear from you guys on that front, because there's a lot of interesting plays that could come into here, and I want to see what sort of counterplay specifically there's going to be for Echo. Like, they mentioned, like, hit scanned seemed pretty strong against her, but, you know, we're gonna have to see whether or not that is going to come to fruition on that end.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Just keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
I've never understood the terminology.
Understood?
Understood the terminology or the phrasing for that.
No, you didn't understood it.
Nope. But
Oh,
but yeah, I mean that pretty much.
I'm just looking on Twitch right now. Why is Uno have 30,000 viewers? Is somebody playing a high price game again?
I don't know.
Uno has more people watching it than Overwatch.
Well, Overwatch is the dead game. Haven't you heard?
Dead game, lol. They only have 25,000 viewers 4 years after release. Yeah, dead game. Dead game.
Well, there you have it. But yeah, that's essentially everything in the toolkit. At least all the known stuff so far. And I think it's time that we close things out then.
Yeah, we're on about 2 hours.
Roughly, give or take.
Mhm.
So if you guys want to help us out, of course, the best thing to do is to head over to iTunes and write us a review. Let us know how we're doing. We are always looking for new things to incorporate into the show. And we're always looking to make for a better listening experience for you. If you're looking to find some additional content to consume in Quarantine Watch, of course, you can head over to our website and check out Overwatch Recall, which has our Overwatch podcast directory. And then every Sunday, we do the weekly recall, which lists all of the episodes that were released in that prior week. So keep up to date with us on Twitter at OW Recall. Now, if you would like to support our podcast network, you could do a couple of things. You could throw Twitch Prime subs our way, or subscribe on Twitch at $4.99 a month. And if that's, maybe a little bit too much for you, you could also consider pledging to our Patreon, where we have tiers starting at just $1 a month. You can find more info at patreon.com/OWL Network. So you too could join the likes of our master and above patrons in Daniel, Owl, Kesha, Agent Life, and 044 in helping our network grow. And of course, just, again, Community Game Night, Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. We'll see you there. But Ed, why don't you quickly go ahead and let our listeners know how they can contact our show?
All right, so you can reach us through email at hndoverwatch@gmail.com. We are on Twitter, and that's at @hndoverwatch. We do have a website where we post everything, so keep an eye out over there for Spider's new video at owlnshow.com. He will also be posting it on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Overwatch League Network.
Will he?
We do have a... Yep, he will in like 4 or 5 weeks. After he's live and competitive, we'll release a video on it. And then we're on Discord at discord.me/OWLNshow. Like Totem said, we are on Twitch at twitch.tv/OWLNshow. So we are Twitch affiliates. So help support the show by subscribing to our channel and earn our network emoticon. We do stream pretty regularly. So Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific, we have the Overwatch League Network. On Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, we have our fantasy show, OWL by the Numbers. If we can actually play fantasy, that is up in the air. And then on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, we have Heroes Never Die, this show, which is a variety Overwatch show. You can contact me personally on Twitter at Ednar Overwatch, or on Twitch at twitch.tv/Ednar, where I stream everything from Apex, Star Wars Fallen Order, Hearthstone, drunken shenanigans, goofy movie reviews, all that fun stuff. Totem, where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at TotemlyDrunkCTR, and when I'm on Twitch streaming, it's at twitch.tv/TotemlyDrunk. So, of course, guys, again, Saturday, Community Game Night, join us, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Retweet for the giveaway on our Twitter, and of course, we will see you guys back Saturday, and if not then, we'll see you next week. You take care, and have a good night.
Peace out.